welcome back to Oak Bridge Farm episode 19. On the previous episode, we went ahead and used the pig feed. We used base food and then root crops. So with the base food, we went with corn, and then the root crops, we went with potatoes. And that is seeming to keep them at 100%. So it might actually be cheaper to do that. We'll use the skid steer to load them, keep them topped up as they continue their life cycle, if you will. It is time to sell the eggs. We got a lot to do, actually. And this is empty, so we got to refill it. So I think what I'm going to try to do is we'll go ahead and put them in here, the trailer. Let's see if we get the right tip side on this. That's the back. Would it be easier to do the back and then push them forward? Let's do the side. Perfect. Now we'll just load them like that. However many high we have to do. And then when we get these sold, then we're able to go ahead and get some more chicken feed. We are in debt. We did take a little bit of a loan out to get that lime situation figured out. I put a lime silo up at the garden center, but I'm thinking that wasn't a good idea. It would probably actually last us the rest of the playthrough. We didn't pay for the bin. I had the garden center pay for the bin, but we had to pay for the lime. Otherwise it wouldn't have made sense, because the lime would have been free if we had them pay for the lime, and that didn't seem right to do that. But like I said, I think we'll probably be at the end of the series before we have to worry about that. One of those things you sit and think about, and it's like, I probably really don't have to pay attention to it at this point. I was thinking of a new crop to do, because we're going to sell 2 of our harvesters. We're just going to keep the green bean harvester. We'll sell the spinach harvester, and we'll also sell the pea harvester. So we can kind of get some different action going. I want to do that linseed. I'm not absolutely sure that we'll be able to store that into our silo on our farm here. I've seen some videos where it doesn't work, but maybe it's been updated where it will work in silos. So I guess whatever, either way, regardless, I do want to try that. So that'll be one of our crops, and we could do one more. We have 3 fields, and then the other one will obviously be green beans. We don't want to do both of those in green beans at the farm here, because we want to change it up a little bit. Again, this is a nice trailer, but if you were to use bags, which we were at the beginning of the series, they fall out, so we ended up getting that other trailer. They all got nice uses. That's something they might have to like change in the future, where you hold a bag over a trailer that it doesn't dump out unless you allow it to somehow. There's probably a mod somewhere, something like that, but you get to have so many mods on in the game, it kind of gets ridiculous. I think the sooner we sell the harvesters, the better. They actually lose money the longer you keep them, and since we ain't going to use them anymore, we should probably get rid of them. Although it would be good to have some money to fix them up too. I think we just get a little bit more back. So. But first things first, let's take care of the eggs. Be strapped in. And where are we going with these? We will be going to the farmer's market. So actually we kind of the opposite direction that I was hoping we'd go. But no worry, we'll take care of that. We're actually going to be selling our canned peas, jarred green beans, and then our spinach as well in this episode. Wood chips too. We are going to be making money. It might actually take us a while before we get to the planting then. We might not even get to it. We'll see how things go. I might just do a supercut. $35,589 and a 420 environmental score. Okay, let's head on over to the store. We'll pick up some chicken feed, and then we'll get on with those selling of our harvesters. Barley. 4,698. One thing it would be nicer to, I wish they had like a feeding trough extension. So if you had like a outside pen like we do, where you have more chickens and they eat so much food. I mean, realistically, you probably would feed them every day. But in the gaming world, it gets to be a little tedious all the time. Oh, no, we want to do the back. There we go. That'll do it. Yeah, it's just one of those things. You gotta enjoy the game for what it is. But there is ways around it like this. Okay, looks like we already have another one spawning here. They are, how old are chickens anyway? I wonder if they start decreasing their output after a certain amount of time. 7 months. We could probably sell some at some point. They're just really not worth that much to do that. And we'd be better off having eggs than trying to breed new chickens. Okay, so I think all we need to do now is we're going to take the harvesters down that we're going to sell so we can get, like I said, they lose money the longer we keep them. We better take that one. I'm going to try to send one down on a worker. But the bigger one we'll do because I know they had trouble with the spinach. I see we're keeping green beans. It's this one that's going to be going. The pea harvester. Good money. Like I said, it's time to move on and do something different. And we need to get some more money before we can buy a nice harvester and all that good stuff. It'd be nice to get a different tractor too. Maybe another field. But we're going to do what we have to do. Send this one down on a worker. Hopefully they can handle it. Alright. They don't, we'll be right behind them. We did turn traffic off for this series. That should help out a lot. And we'll take the spinach harvester down. Hopefully we get a decent wage for these. Should say amount. We'll probably get these both, I think, fixed up and repainted. We should have enough money to do one, and then once we sell one, we can do the other. We'll get to see how much this is going to cost us, how much damage has been done over the years. I guess we know how much damage is by our bar, but how much is it going to cost? Here we are. So, oh my god, repaint is 127,000. Let's just repair it. 3,000 there. Okay, we will. That is a lot of money to repaint. That's crazy. Okay, so we'll sell this. It had 51 months. Remember, we got this new as a free gift when we started the series. Operating hours, 5 hours. 5.4 hours. Yeah, 0 paint. Alright. 279,000. Yes, we'll sell that. So the next one we could probably repaint. And then we'll be able to get a little bit more cash out of it. It's really, you know, you're kind of penny pinching at that point when you repaint these things. But extra is always good. These harvesters did us well. Something that tried to work in this direction from scratch would take a long time. We were very fortunate to start with them. And got to experience the new crops in the game. Okay, so we'll repair. Repaint that. That one wasn't as bad. And then we'll sell it for 385,202. Awesome. So what we'll do now is we'll repay our loan that we still had. Finally be out of debt once again. 70,000. That is nice. So we have a good balance of 548,118. I think what we'll do, we won't need our harvesters yet. But we're definitely going to keep an eye on the sales, I think. Because if we can save money, we'll save money. I do want to get another tractor. Obviously, this would be very nice. But I'm not a big fan of articulation. And I think it might be a little overkill for this play too, but that is nice. We'll probably sell the smaller tractor. Actually, it might be nice to just keep that one so we could leave it on the dump. That's not a bad idea. Because that's pretty much its use, is just sitting there hooked up. We do have to get a manure heap in yet at some point. But I really want to get those sales done in this episode. So I think what we need to do is we'll get to January. We'll get up and get those wood chips sold. Remember, those were done processing. All our wood. The wood actually won't sell until July. Planks. But we'll just get up there and get the wood chips done. We'll have to take our skid steer up there once again. But let's get to January. We'll check the sales in December. And we'll see what we got. We have arrived in January. There's actually some snow holding this year. I think this is the first time in a long time snow is actually held on the ground here. We have a surprise in the sales. The CH770. This is actually the harvester I was kind of eyeing up. And like regularly it costs, well, we got 54% off. It costs $281. So we're definitely going to buy that. Why waste a good opportunity? And then we could put some extra money elsewhere. Let's go with Michelin. And we don't need no license plates. Okay. We'll buy that. We'll just let that sit over there till we're ready. It'll be a long time before we need that. And then we can, if the header comes up, we'll hopefully get lucky on that too. But if not, I definitely was looking for the deal on the harvester, and that's what we got. Okay, we'll grab the tractor. We need to get the skid steer down to the wood chip area, our sawmill. We can get those sold. Loaded up and sold. I'm gonna look and see how the ground responds here in the muddy area. They did say the ground deformation, if it's, you know, winter, cold outside, it's going to be a little harder than it would be in the... We've definitely seen that. Okay, let's get this loaded up. But yeah, as I was saying, we got linseed. We're going to do green beans, and then there's one more crop that we were looking at doing, and I think we're going to do soybeans. That's a crash crop. We'll be able to throw it into the silo, and then sell it at the appropriate time. Nice to get use out of our silo. We did put some corn in there for the pigs. Only made sense to do that. So they got plenty of food. We really don't have to worry about them. We could grow our own, but we already bought the corn, so... Okay, let's head on down to the sawmill. And then let's get these wood chips loaded up. You would think the snow plows would have been out this morning and taken care of all the snow. But no such thing. They did it here though. Not by the sawmill, because we don't own that, of course. We could maybe leave the skid steer up here too, I think. Oh man, our organization is not... Let's get back a little farther. Our organization didn't hold, so it was just random the way it put those out. Yeah, the wood chips got spawned out in a pallet. That's kind of cool. Okay, let's get these loaded up, and then I suppose we should probably stack... Is there some more wood that's got to come out of the production? No, everything's out on the ground. So nothing else should spawn. Well, let's get these loaded, wood chips loaded up, and then, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Yeah, we're gonna have to double stack a couple of them. Well, let's get on that. Being very mindful of our stacking job this time around. Make it a little bit more realistic and balanced. How you would do it in real life. Excellent, that should be all of them. Looks like it. Strapped in. And then there we go. So where are these going to be going here? Wood chips to all spheres bales. That is back on the other end of the map. Okay, let's take a little stroll through the winter wonderland. Oh no! Oh yeah, we gotta drop it lower maybe? No! Why isn't it accepting it? Wood chips, all spheres bales. Let's look over here real quick. Prices, wood chips. Maybe it's gotta go to the store? Unless we have to take them off the trailer. But I think it would have accepted them. Let's try this side. There we go. 16,674. That not in a 197. Not too bad for just waste products. Yeah, that's kind of oversight there on the map programming, I guess. Okay, so that should do it there. We'll park this over at our... I suppose we could probably get one loaded. Well, we should probably wait because the snow on the ground is going to make it difficult. We'll take a nap and then we'll get to March. And then we'll get the products loaded. Yes, as predicted, it is covered in snow down here. Let's put it where we usually do, I guess. That is ready to go. I had it down. There we go. Perfect. And then we got spinach bags that are ready to get sold. We gotta wait for March. We'll go ahead a couple months and then we'll see where things lie. It is raining in March. Good thing we're not doing it. Well, actually, we're gonna be doing field work later because we do have to get the linseed planted. I suppose we could put that off on a worker. Although it really won't take that long. We actually have the... we need the big tractor for that. We're using it. I don't trust the smaller tractor to handle the load on our harvest here. Get to use our forklift the first time. We got on sale. Let's see, yeah, we gotta go sideways with these. We'll just do a first load full of spinach. Might be good to try to do 3 high, but I think we're going to get a lot of other pallets spawning. They're going to get in our way. We'll just do 2. Company forklift. I think I'm getting used to this wagon. We should always start loading from the back. We got wiggle room up front. We don't have it in back. It'll end up hitting that tire. Push him over. Perfect. First 2 are loaded. Looks like we have 11 pallets or so yet to spawn. That's a lot of spinach. We'll just take down what we have. It's going to at least be another load anyway. Run this down. Let's see. I don't know where this was going yet. I don't think we did. Or it was garden center, right? Yeah, garden center. Oh yeah, we'll get this up there. $48,803, 576 environmental score. Okay, let's keep continuing this, and then we'll see what our total for sold products is at the end of this time lapse. One thing that will be nice that we sold those other harvesters. It's not going to be so many pallets. That was a lot of pallets to deal with. But you can see what little bit of pallets we got with these harvests. And they were decent sized fields, but it'll be even less with the green beans on the smaller field. That was a big field with those green beans. Let's see, I wanted to triple check farmer's market. Yeah, the green beans need to be sold here, so we gotta just unstrap those. There. 1,000, 1080 environmental score, that's nice. Oh no, they all sold. Well, there goes that idea. But yeah, the straps aren't working correctly. You're supposed to be, with this update, that must be what people were talking about. Supposed to be able to just unstrap the one, and then it would just sell, you know, what's unstrapped and keep the other one from selling. That didn't work so well. But everything is sold, so I guess it is what it is. Let's take a look at... Yeah, that's a shame. I missed out on a little bit of money. Let's take a look at our grand total for sales. Sold products 186,611. That is awesome. But I think before we wrap up today's episode, we're going to run to the store. We're going to actually purchase a bunch of straw bales. And then we'll be able to finally get that manure heap in after all these all these months, all these episodes talking about it. We're finally going to be able to do it. We have enough cash. We're out of debt. We'll get them loaded up on the trailer, and we could probably come back into the next episode unloading those. But yeah, this has been a long time in the coming. I really wanted to get to the manure. We can start using more of our own fertilizer. I think especially with, we'll probably have to get some, I don't think there's actually the crop sensors for the, well actually there is, I guess we'd have to get it for the tractor. That's something we should think about purchasing too. I'm not going to be able to do it here though because I don't have the, I don't have a, there's a weight on the front, so I have to get that back at the house. But I don't think that works directly for manure or slurry. You have to, like, for the slurry you have to buy the one in the tank, I think, to get the consistency correct. But we're going to be switching to manure, and I don't think you can do it on manure. But we will be able to get that crop sensor we can get on the front of the tractor. There's a lot of things to think about. Here is our new harvester. Well, it's used, but it is here. I'm actually going to move that out of the way. Get these bales loaded up. Take a quick glance at it. It's so nice that we got this on sale. This was definitely the one I wanted to go for. We'll just set it off to the side here. Actually in pretty good condition. Yeah, we'll buy some. Let's just go with the round ones. I'm really worried about those being too heavy. 6,500 for these. Let's see here. Let's get these little bits. Actually, we can't go too far. Of course, this forklift will be able to easily handle this. Spread the forks out as wide as we can. Let's do it from this direction, actually. We'll be able to easily do 4 at once. Our skid steer, on the other hand, probably not going to be able to hold that much weight. I think we'll just go with the 4 for now. We'll see how much this fills up the pigsty, I should say. And then we'll go from there. Probably start getting real heavy for that wagon there too. Okay. That way when we begin the next episode, remember that we're gonna focus on the manure heap. Excellent! Okay, so I think we'll leave it there for today's episode, and like I said, on the next one, manure heap, we get that linseed planted, and I think there was the other crop we have to do in March as well here. No, I guess that's the only crop because the soybeans are in April as well as the green beans are in April. We'll get all that done on the next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.